We are Onyx Imaging. We are the highest rated and most reviewed printer service center in Oklahoma.
Hi, my name is John with Onyx Imaging. Today we're going to take a look at this Brother L2395 printer, and we're going to talk about some common causes of paper jams. More specifically, we're going to talk about common causes of paper jams that happen because of issues inside of the paper tray. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this paper tray. I'm going to take it all the way out. And I'm also going to go ahead and remove the paper from this paper tray so we can get a better look at the bottom of it. Set that off to the side. Now if I lift this paper tray up, you'll notice there's these little gray slides on three sides of the tray. What those are for is to adjust this paper tray for the specific size paper you're using in this paper tray. So if you look down here at the bottom of the paper tray, you'll see little indications for different sizes of paper. So in our case we're using an 8.5 by 11 or letter paper. So we're going to make sure we move all these little adjustments by moving these little, or pressing these little green tabs and setting them on the marking for the size paper that we're using. So it's very important to have these set directly on those markings. If you have it set for either a smaller or larger size piece of paper, it's going to cause a lot of issues as far as causing paper jams. Whether it causes paper to be too tight inside this paper tray, too loose inside this paper tray. It also causes some confusion inside the printer, where the printer thinks there's a different size paper inside of this paper tray, and you can get paper jams because of that as well. So very, very important. Make sure you have all these set right on the indications for the paper size that you're using in your paper tray. So another issue we see quite frequently from paper inside your paper tray is from when you add paper. A lot of times what will happen is you're down to just a couple sheets left in your paper tray and you go to add a new stack of paper. And a lot of times you won't pull this tray all the way out to add paper. So what happens is you slide the paper about halfway back, and as you do so, sometimes what happens is a couple sheets will kind of curl up back behind it. They get kind of pushed back and slide up in the back. And so what will happen is you end up getting that paper curl, and that squeezes this paper inside of the paper tray and causes it to be way too tight, and the printer has a really hard time pulling the paper through properly. So it's really important whenever you add paper, you take a quick look, slide it out so you can check all four sides. You just want to make sure it's a nice, clean, even stack on all four sides. You don't see any paper curled up anywhere. If you do see any paper curls up anywhere, just take a second and remove it. It'll go a long way as far as reducing the amount of paper jams you're getting. So another thing that we see quite frequently from adding paper inside your paper tray that causes paper jams is overfilling this paper tray. So if you look at those little adjusters that we talked about earlier, there's a little flag on all of them that kind of poke out or into the tray. What those are for is they'll show you the maximum amount of paper that you can put in this tray. You never want to go above those little markings. So a lot of times what I'll see is people just try to shove as much paper as they can fit in here and disregard that completely, or they don't know what it's for. Or they'll add just enough paper where they can kind of force the edges of the paper just to go underneath it. But what will happen then is you end up with a big mound in the middle. And again, what happens when you stack this paper too high is it pushes it way too close up against the paper pickup assembly, and it has a really, really hard time pulling the paper through properly. So if you notice that after you add paper, you're getting a lot of paper jams, but after a while it starts getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, and then it kind of goes away. There's a good chance you're overfilling your paper tray, and again, that can cause a lot of issues if paper gets stuck inside the printer, anything like that, and also the headache of just having to stop and go clear paper jams constantly. So very, very important. Never overfill your paper tray. Usually I say it's a good idea to leave a small gap between your top sheet of paper and these little markings for your top level guide here. If you've tried all of those, you're still getting frequent paper jams and nothing seems to be helping. And more than likely, if you've had this printer for a while, it's used pretty frequently and you can't remember the last time it's been maintenance, or you don't think it's ever been maintenance, there's a good chance the rollers are worn out and need to be replaced. If that's the case, please feel free to reach out to Onyx. We'd love to help take care of that for you. Also, if you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to Onyx. We'd love to help answer those for you as well. Or if there's any way we can help supply with any of your printer office supply needs. We hope you have a great day and you're back up and printing. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you're interested in how you can receive free labor on all of your service calls, as well as how to qualify for free printer upgrades, contact us today. We are here for all of your printer and office supply needs.